Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very special episode of In the Bullpen, brought to you by Hilltop Office Supplies. We're on location at Henley and Grange Baseball Club. We were just doing the Div 1 game here. Henley had the crowds out, the fans out. They're all drinking a couple beverages. Still parked down the right field line as I look down there. Awesome atmosphere down here.
Yeah, no, it was a good game tonight, and hello everybody at home. We're happy to bring you a different kind of format tonight, aren't we? We're at a club, which we might be able to do a little bit more often as the season goes on, so we're happy to have you join us tonight, and we've got a lot of stuff to get through.
Well, let's take a look at some of the results. We don't have the graphic up here because they just ended, so thanks to everybody who has texted in what was going on. Let's start with the game we just watched. Henley and Grange, second place, playing one-loss West Torrens. The big difference in this one, Landon Hernandez hit a grand salami. This is the clip of it. That one was large, just missed the target out there. Great effort from Nico Vanderlinden, but that made it 6-1. It kind of blew the game open. They held on 7-2. A statement win for Henley and Grange, who are now just 2 points back of first place.
Yeah, and that was really the game changer, wasn't it? They score 4 there, put them 6 in front. Willie hasn't had a lot of runs scored against him this year either, so that made a big chunk in West Torrens getting back to try and get in at 7 in his game on a Tuesday night.
Around the grounds, Sturt, I'm reading it here, they won 10-2 over Woodville. Adelaide beat Norths 13-1. Goodwood, they had Jaden Bastow pitching tonight, as well as Tom Fitzgerald. They won 13-1 over East Torrens. So those games kind of expected results. The big one, Souths holding off Golden Grove. They're trying to protect their sixth spot with teams chasing them. They win 5-3. And how about this, Dunny? We have ourselves a tie.
The first tie.
Port Adelaide and Glenelg. Glenelg were en route to another win, storming up the standings. They were about to catch Port, or almost catch Port, and then Inglis hits a 3-run homer in the last inning to tie the game.
Yeah, right. That's an interesting result, isn't it? But what's really interesting from my point of view is that East Torrens lose, Golden Grove lose, and they just move further away from Southern Districts, right? So it's another game that Southern Districts gets further in front of them, and now it makes it hard for those teams to start catching Southern Districts up.
So the updated standings will have, this is a look at the standings, by the way. I'm just looking over at the monitor. The only thing not up to date on this is the result from Port Adelaide and Glenelg. So Port will move to 15 points, and they'll be in 7th, and Glenelg go to 11 points. So they're now only just 5 points back, and they're now the team chasing South's Port Adelaide. So that was a big... At least they got points in that game, and now they've slotted into 7 somehow.
Yeah, it keeps them in the hunt just, right? Just.
Let's take a look at some of the stat leaders heading into the weekend. This hasn't really changed. I know games tonight will have affected those results, but Wade Moore and Troy Nicholson still leading off the pack of batting average. Home runs, Riley Moore, the RBI leaders, that doesn't really change. Mike Bishop at 24, still leading the way. Kensington did not play. Again, a refresher. The pitching leaders, this is the same as last week. The washouts. The Rain was undefeated. Perfect game. No hitter. 7-0. They wiped out men's games and women's games.
Yep.
We'll throw up the pitching numbers. You'll see AJ Verestigi up there. Mitch Neuenborn still having those big numbers. Those are the statistical leaders of it. So this led us a bit of a chat during the week, Michael Dunn. We're at the midway point of the season, 15-16. Caps medal. I want to have a think about who is going to be in contention for a Caps medal later on in the year. So where do you even start when you're predicting win something like this?
Well, as we've seen in years gone by, normally a Caps medalist comes from a guy who's a two-way guy. So 1 week they hit, 1 week they throw. It's not often either a flat-out pitcher or a flat-out hitter wins the Caps medal because they only play in half the amount of, hitters do, but pitchers only play in half the amount of games. So to have two-way guys, it makes a massive difference. And we've got the 4 guys that we think are probably in the running for the Caps medal, who are all happen to be two-way guys, right?
So Mitch Neuenborn, two-way guy, 12 RBIs and 0.27 ERA. That's going to play. Jackson Bremner-Russ, 2.31 ERA, 1 home run, 14 RBIs, hitting 400. He's going to get 3 votes there too. But 2 Henley and Grange players I want to flag. What do you think about Landon Hernandez and even Wilson Lee's chances again?
Yeah, well, the advantages that the JBR, Landon Hernandez, and Willie Lee have got is they don't have any Giants duties, so they play every single game, right?
And pick up points.
Where Mitch plays ABL on the weekends and he misses a game, so he'll miss 5 games, possibility of 15 votes. That's a lot of votes when you're trying to win a Caps medal down the track.
Wilson Lee, he got a start again tonight. Landon Hernandez hit a grand slam. I'm sure he's getting votes, but Hernandez' ERA is now under 190. Wilson Lee, it'll have gone up a little bit tonight, but just maybe around that 1 mark, so they're going to be getting the 3 votes. Yep. From some guys that are mainly hitters, Troy Nicholson. He's got 21 RBIs, 5 home runs, and 448 at Woodville. And Woodville, he's going to be picking up points because he's playing well when Woodville are losing. He's getting 1-2 points here and there, and then 3 a couple times when they're winning.
Yep, he's doing really well, but not enough to win a Caps medal, right? We understand that.
What about Pardo? 16 stolen bases?
Well, the problem with that is that the other 2 guys that are above him are taking votes off him.
Yeah.
Right, so, and again, Pardo's got ABL duties as well, so it probably comes down to those 3 guys in the end that fight it out.
Well, here are 3 hitters that always seem to, and actually maybe 4 or 5 hitters that always seem to get that 4th to 7th range on the Caps votes, and you never know what can happen, especially in a year like this. Jeremy Creswell hitting again above 400 again, always pulls high. Jordan McCardle creeping up on the RBI lead. I'm sure he had more tonight.
Yep.
Austin Gallagher, again, he's usually that 3rd to 7th kind of range.
Yep.
And the McGarry brothers, both of them.
Yeah, again, yep. They maybe somewhere down the track they need to learn how to pitch.
Women's get the Caps medal this year, which is pretty exciting. That's going to be a big deal. I've narrowed it down to some contenders here. Jess Maslin, 10 games played, 553, 19 RBIs. Does that play?
That will definitely play in the women's league. Definitely play.
Bindi Stansfield, 9 games played, 556, 15 RBI for Sturt.
That plays.
Now Georgia Davis, she does hit. They're not outrageous numbers, but a 3.07 ERA and an 8.0 starter on the mound. She's also won multiple MVPs or top of the vote counts in every level she's played in before.
Yep.
She was up there last year in Division 1. She was in the top 10. This year, you feel like undefeated Sturt, she's the woman with the ball in her hand. That's getting votes.
Well, it has to. If she's 8-0, so let's say she polls in 7 of those 8 games, and out of those 7 or 8 games, she gets 3 5s or 5 3s. She's got to be up there.
Has to be.
Can't not be.
Alice Prokopek had a big first half, hitting 444, led the league in ERA and 17 innings pitched. But how about this for Abby Jorgensen? I want to throw a little roughie out there. I'm not too sure it'll get across the line, but Abby Jorgensen for Souths hitting 447 and leads the comp in walks with 11s.
Yep.
And has pitched a little bit. Now, her ERA isn't as low as Georgia Davis, but the women's ERAs aren't the lowest at the moment right now in the competition, and Abby's is kind of about on average with everybody else. That, hey, if you're getting a couple people out, you're stealing some bases, you're getting on base, and you're walking.
Yeah.
And Souths are a good team. Let's put up the standings right now, because Souths are in 3rd place, and they've won a few games in a row. Abby Jorgensen, I don't know. I feel like if you want a little roughie, put your odds on SportBest, let's give Abby Jorgensen a shout-out.
Yeah, well, it's normally in the women's games, too. There's always someone that stands out. Right?
Yeah.
Always someone that
and
stands
she's
out
flashy.
more than it. Yeah, and she will obviously pick up votes by being that flashy player. So she'll be around the mark. She'll probably be in the top 5, no doubt.
I'll let you go first. Of that list we talked about, who you picking right now, mid-season prediction for Caps medal for the men?
I think Willie Lee's missed too many games to start with, so I think it goes down to JBR and Landon. No.
Can't pick up one of the two. And the women's?
The women's, I think Georgia Davis. I think if they keep winning,
she's a standout.
Well, if they keep winning games, she's going to keep getting votes, right? So, and as long as she's getting votes, then and still keep winning, then there's no doubt that she's going to go pretty close to winning it.
Well, apologies to those players that we just mentioned for us putting the jinx on you and probably going to crap the rest of the season. That's completely on us, but hey, don't do so well in the first half, I suppose. Look, we got a big show today. We've got Nathan Vanderlinden on for a few minutes chat about the success of West Torrens this year, and then we're bringing on a chat I'm looking forward to we're going to hear about what I hear was the greatest baseball game maybe ever played, certainly in South Australia.
Yeah, well, we're excited to listen to the stories behind that.
We'll take a break. Nate Vanderlinden on the other side.
Hilltop Office Supplies are here to provide you with all your stationery, sanitary products and office equipment. We are a local business servicing local communities with the ability to offer you and your business the best prices. We offer a large range of office supplies from pens, ink cartridges and toner to monitors, keyboards and laptops. If you can't see it on our website or in our catalogue, ask us and we'll source it for you. We have a partnership with Kaishira Document Solutions where you will find many leasing options available for these state-of-the-art units and plenty to choose from whether you have 5 or 5,000 employees. We offer businesses a one-stop shop for all cleaning, kitchen and bathroom needs. Check out our website at www.hilltopofficesupplies.com.au. Register your business to stay on top of the latest sales and receive member specials. We are baseball people here to support the baseball community.
Hilltop Office Supplies bringing you in the bullpen live from Henley and Grange Baseball Club. They supply rat. Have you had a rat test yet, Nate?
Yeah, I've had a couple, which is...
Did you get them from Hilltop Office Supplies?
No.
Should've. Next time. I'll need it soon, so we'll probably go there.
Should've's the right answer. Jump on Hilltop Office Supplies website. They can get that sorted. Nate Vanderlinden, one of the big leaders over at West Torrens Baseball Club, 15-2 record. Tough loss tonight against second place Henley and Grange, but Nate, heading into this game, even after the game, what's the vibe around Eagles camp right now?
Right now, it's just a quick loss and all that. It's only our second loss of the season, but we're still feeling pretty good. We're a good, close-knit team. So, yeah, we'll just move on, go to the next game, and see how we go.
I know we had a chat about this when we were in Melbourne. We were watching the scores of the West Torrens game, and you guys had like 6 or 7 players out, and you still won the game. And kind of the vibe of the conversation was, this is a next man up club right now.
Yeah, definitely. We have a lot of depth, so we have a lot of players that can step up to the plate and all that and just do their job, play the small ball, and get it done. Like we had Ryan Broom, he stuck it up and won it last week for us. All the older players, we do our part. All the younger players, they do their part. So it seems to gel together and we get it done.
How do you go about your business as, I mean, it sounds crazy to call you an older player, but a more experienced player on Henley when you got a team of 16, 17, 18-year-old kids? What do you do to help establish that Eagles culture in the clubhouse?
No, you can say I'm one of the older players now, but it's hard to say that. But I sort of keep everyone in check in a way.
And from a Giants perspective, how are you finding, again, because you're one of the older players in the Giants squad this year as well, with no imports coming in, and how are you finding those guys gelling with each other as well and playing on a weekly basis with guys they don't normally play with on a weekend? So how are you finding that, and how are you handling the younger guys and trying to teach them the Giants way of life?
I guess just try to calm their nerves. Like, I went through it all and had that feeling, so all I can do is just tell them how it goes, what happens and all that, and give them the best hints for what to expect and all that. And surely then, hopefully it calms them down and we move on and they play well.
Does it get hard to juggle your baseball responsibilities at this time of year when you've got Giants games to worry about, road trips to worry about, West Torrens club commitments to worry about, when you're pitching, who you're pitching for, when you're hitting, everything in there? It feels like you're a busy guy around the diamond at the best of times anyways.
Yeah, I guess so. All I want to do is play, so really whatever team I'm playing for on that day, I'll just do my best and all of that and just concentrate in that moment. And then just prepare myself for the next game once it's all done.
We'd all rather play than train, Eric.
Probably, yeah. You get to skip a couple training, just play some games.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, definitely, which is all good.
Tell me about the coach, Tyrone Hambley. Obviously, he's kind of established a pretty good winning culture from a few different revolving door of players, of guys coming up the club the last few years. What has he meant to the club, and what does he bring to the team?
Yeah, he means a lot to the team. He's a good coach. He just sort of tells us what to do in a way, but makes it easy for us. Like, just points us in the right direction, let us do our own work, and then go from there, really.
It's weird looking at the stats of West Torrens because no team has scored more runs than West Torrens. No team has allowed less runs than West Torrens. That usually adds up to a pretty good record, and 15-2, pretty good record. But there's no crazy player that's really popping out in terms of dominating the stats. Everybody's having a good season, but there's not like, you have some clubs that have like a guy hitting 8 home runs, 25 RBIs, and they're the standout in the lineup. This feels like a team top to bottom. It's like, where's the break?
Yeah, most definitely. We have 13 plus. Our Div 1s, Div 2s can all play in Div 1s and go for that. We don't have the player that stands out, but everyone does their job, so it's a team thing, so not one person can win a game, so we go from there.
And Eric's worked it out that because he's got nothing else to do and he's got so much free time that you need 6 to clinch.
Well, the magic number's now 5 because
the
there's a loss behind him.
Yeah, okay, so there's a loss behind him. So you got 5 games to clinch with 13 left.
Sorry?
Got 13 games left.
13 games left, yeah.
So six clinches your final spot. So
that's a combination of East Torrens wins and West Torrens losses.
Yeah, so probably something you could feed back to your team and work on that. The magic number's 5, and you play finals baseball again this year.
Yeah. That'll be all right, but probably won't think of it as 5. We'll just think 13 games, let's win them all. Why not?
We had Dom Hodges on the broadcast earlier, and we asked him about expectations for Henley and Grange, and he just said, Premiership. That's the expectations this year. We asked the same question at Kensington, and it was kind of compete in every game and see what happens. What's West Torrens' expectations at the start of the year?
Just get the finals, because anything can happen in finals. So I guess once you make it there, just play the game as hard as you can and see what happens.
Feeling confident in the pitching staff you got?
Yeah, I think we can. We have a few arms that can throw the ball. We haven't really had all of our best pitchers throw at once. We've all shared the load, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
Nate, a couple quick questions for you. We're doing this with all our guests on the show right now. A little bit of a rapid fire for you. So we'll start off with, what is the best sporting event that you have ever been to in your life so far?
Any sport?
Any sport. It doesn't have to be baseball.
I'm not too sure.
It could be the baseball, though.
Yeah, I think seeing Mariano Rivera pitch on his last season, that was pretty big in Anaheim.
I saw him on the closeout tour.
Yeah, in Anaheim, standing next to the bullpen, watched him in, listened to the song. That was pretty good.
Didn't everybody give him like a gift? Like every team had a
yeah.
gift to give him?
Everyone gave him a gift, and yeah, it was a cool thing to see.
That's
a
sick.
cool one.
All right. What about if time wasn't an issue, so you could go back in time, you could go forward in time. What is the ideal sporting event that you would like to either see that's either existed or could go to?
Ooh, I'm not too sure. Probably in the ice hockey, the USA and Canada were playing for a gold medal, and that went into overtime, and Canada won it. So.
Oh, I know that well, Dunny. That was crazy. That was it was in the 2010 Olympics, and Canada had just tied the record for most gold medals by any team in the Winter Olympics. The last event was USA versus Canada in the ice hockey, and if Canada had lost that game, the Olympics would have been 15 gold medals. It would have been a disaster. It would have been like failure. But Sidney Crosby, the golden goal. Where did you watch that game here?
Yeah, I was on the couch watching it and just went nuts when I saw it. So, no, that was good to see.
And the Winter Olympics are just around the corner too, aren't they? So they're on again soon.
Yeah, but it's not the NHL players. This was significant because it was like best on bet. You're right. That was freaking insane.
Moment, so that was good to watch and all that.
That's great.
That's my favorite answer we've had by far so far, because that would be in contention.
That's because you're an ice hockey guy, Eric.
Oh,
of course,
Canada
it's the best
winning
answer.
best on best. That's great. All right, Nate. Spotify or Apple Music, whatever it is. What would have been top on your Spotify Wrapped last year, or what was it?
Ooh, I can't remember. Something easygoing for sure. To be honest, I don't know. It's probably an artist that no one would really know. So.
What was your walkout song going to be for the Giants when you're going to get the call from the pen this year?
It was going to be Feel Good by the Gorillaz. So sort of chilled, but a good little bop to it. So
you always have those good little vibes that get people kind of like
got some swagger. The Van der Linden got some swagger.
And finally, Nate, we'll let you go in a second here, but what's it been like with the Giants, the experience this year with mainly just locals on the team going about and representing Adelaide?
No, it's been great. Seeing the younger kids from Adelaide just perform, take care of the ball, and just do their job is great to see.
Well, Nate, we look forward to watching you this weekend with the Giants when Brisbane's in town, and thanks for stopping by in the bullpen.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Thanks,
We'll
mate.
be back. We'll talk about maybe the greatest baseball game ever played.
Here at Just the Thing Furniture, we offer quality, factory direct furniture at wholesale prices. From wall clocks, prints and lamps to couches, beds, rugs and outdoor furniture. We make furniture affordable, where you save up to 80% on retail, offering you the finest furniture at discount prices. When you buy from us, you won't wait months for your new furniture. Everything you see is ready for immediate delivery, and mention Super League Baseball and we'll deliver it for free. We pride ourselves on customer service, and our team works tirelessly to offer our customers on-trend furniture at heavily discounted prices. Visit our huge warehouse in Beverley, open 7 days a week, or jump online to check out our latest deals at www.justthethingfurniture.com.
Just the Thing Furniture Warehouse, big partner here. Mention Super League, mention Baseball SA, mention the Adelaide Giants. Don't mention Robert Laidlaw. If you mention all of those, you'll get 10% off. If you mention Rob, they'll charge you double. It's probably how it works. Just the Thing Furniture Warehouse. Back in the bullpen at Henley and Grange. It's getting dark around here. We're on site, so we have some special guests. Robert Laidlaw, Baseball SA recap man and historian and wind stopper of the banner that's going behind us, and Ron Hawking, the president of Port Adelaide Baseball Club, but most importantly, played in what I am being told is like the craziest game that has ever happened.
Well, it's been described in many different ways, but I've never heard it described as the craziest game that ever happened. But it was a special game, and a lot of people have told me that it's the best game that they've ever seen. And 19 innings of sustained pressure is something special, I think.
We're talking about the 1972 Grand Final, Goodwood versus Port Adelaide. It went 19 innings. You played in that game. What do you remember from the game? Can you give me a little story? Like, I've never heard this before because I really haven't.
Well, it was a lot of pressure in the game leading up to the game. We'd played the same team Goodwood the year before in the grand final. We beat them 2-1, and Neil Page pitched in that and dominated that game, but we still squeaked out a win. So it was expected to be a close game, and every team's got off to nervous starts, but once it settled in, you got Neil Page pitch 19 innings. He walked.
He pitched the whole game.
He pitched the whole game.
19 innings.
Yeah, he pitched 19 innings. He walked the first batter and never threw one walk for the rest of the 19 innings.
How is that allowed?
We wish it wasn't, but that was Neil. Neil was probably the best pitcher that ever stepped on the mound in South Australia, yeah.
19 innings, and he pitched every inning of them?
Yes, he did. And the funny thing is, for Port, they had 2 pitchers. Wayne Durbridge went 10 innings, and in the bottom of the 10th, the coach, Kevin Greatrex, took him out for pinch hitter, thinking, we're going to win it here, boys. And he put Dave Mundy into pitch, went another 9 innings.
And Dave Mundy, didn't he win the Caps medal that year?
Yes, he did. He did.
So Dave Mundy pitched essentially a complete game.
Yes.
Wayne Durbridge pitched a complete game.
+1.
And then Neil Page pitched a complete game, and then another complete game, and then another inning in relief.
2 innings, yeah, because there was 2 out when Kevin Greatrex hit a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 19th to win the game. And I think the ball's just about to land now, 50 years later. And in the first innings, Goodwood batted first and they scored 2 runs. In the bottom of the first, Port Adelaide scored 2 runs. Then from that first inning to the 19th, 0-0-0.
So, Ron, walk me through what it was like as a player, even playing in this era of baseball, because I'm told that, we get 1,500 people out to West Beach to watch the Giants play, and we're pumped. We're like, yes, that's a good crowd. But that would have been a disappointing effort, I suppose, in the 70s.
In the 70s, we would play Norwood Oval every Wednesday night, and a typical Wednesday night crowd would be 3,000 people every Wednesday night. Some of the grand finals would have attracted 7,000 or 8,000 people, so 5,000 for that game was not considered to be a great crowd at the time. No.
Was it loud the whole game? Like, what do you remember from that game as a player? And I heard you have a couple of little wrinkles in the game as well.
There's a bit of booing going on at one stage, and some really spectacular plays. Tight defence all the time. It was a defensive game. It was just every innings, it just upped the ante on the pressure. So as the game progressed, every play became more important. Every area was magnified, and to the credit of both sides, I always believe that nobody really lost that game because Goodwood were just magnificent. I was 21 when I played that game, and it was my 6th grand final in Division 1.
What?
Yeah. And
they won 6 in a row.
So we'd won 6 in a row, and we'd won 5 straight. Our starting lineup, we had 8 state players, 5 that had played for Australia. We had 2 Hall of Famers in the team. So we were a powerhouse at the time. And Goodwood...
you think?
Yeah.
A wagon, that's what we call them.
And
there was a controversy in the game in the 16th innings, and I've heard both sides of it because we're putting a book together on that particular game to celebrate the 50 years, and which is available from Port Adelaide Baseball Club. But what happened in the 16th innings, there was a runner on second base for Goodwood. And
it was, 0-0 at this time?
2-2.
2-2 at this time, sorry.
And it's the top of the 16th. There's none out. Runner on second for Goodwood. The batter hits the ball, gets caught by centre field. The runner tags up at second, goes to third. They appeal at second, and the umpire called him out. Now, the next batter happened to be Neil Page, who flied out to centre field, which would have scored the run.
So Neil Page was also batting for himself in the game?
Yes, they did back in those days. The DH rule in America didn't come out to 1973, the next year. But one of the things was, I speak to Goodwood, and they're absolutely 100% certain that the batter, I think it was Gooley, held the base before the ball, after the ball was caught. Whereas Port Adelaide were a bit, I think he left early, so it was it's funny, 2 different sides of the story.
There was no thing. We knew he left early.
You knew it?
Oh, yeah. I was playing second base, and I saw the play pretty clearly.
How many at bats would a player have had in that game?
8.
7, 8.
7, 8.
Yeah, 7 for the bottom of the lineup, 8 for up to Great Rex, who was the fourth batter.
So Port would have gone against Page 8 or 7, 8, 9 times, depending who you were in the lineup, and you still couldn't figure them out.
I played against Neil for 5 years, and I couldn't fit him out after 5 years. Not many people could.
The funny thing is they did not take pitch counts back then, so they didn't have how many pitches, but let's be honest, Pagey would have thrown between 250 and 300 pitches.
So talk me through your actual club games. You played on a Sunday, but the Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday and Wednesday.
Sunday, like club games as well on a Wednesday, or just?
They're all club games, Sundays and Wednesdays for the majors, which were the top 6 A-grade teams, and the league, which were the lower 6A, played on Saturday.
Right.
And at the end of the year, the top team in the league promoted to majors, and the bottom team in majors demoted to league.
And the grand final was played at night time?
Yeah, it was a night game.
At Norwood.
Yeah, I think the game went to about 1:30 in the morning or something like that, and I believe that there was an arrangement with the local council that the Norwood Oval lights had to be off at a certain time, and they had to ring the council and get special permission to keep the lights on so they could keep the game going. So it just went on forever.
How many people stayed from start to finish? That were
Not many left. Not in those days. They were a very educated baseball crowd, and they loved their baseball. The same people came to baseball every week, and they knew their baseball, and they knew they were seeing something special. Robert said to me not long ago that one of his biggest regrets in baseball was not seeing that game.
I was 14 at the time. My first Division 1 grand final that I saw live was the following year when Woodville beat Port for their first flag, and Port got knocked off for the first time in the grand final in 7 years. But the funny thing is I've still got that program from my first grand final, but for the life of me, I can't dig up a program from that 72. No one's got one.
Everyone was burning him to keep warm, probably.
Yeah, no kidding. But that must be like a kind of a badge of honor now almost for the boys that played in that game on both teams, that it's like, because Goodwood, for instance, they didn't even win the game, and they're celebrating the 50-year anniversary of it this weekend too.
Yeah. Well, when you have a great game, you need opposition. You need two strong competitive teams, and I remember in the 14th innings, I'd played a lot of grand finals, and at some stage you can feel a blink in the opposition. And I remember in the 14th innings just making a mental note to myself that these guys are just not going away. They were well coached by Tommy Gadd. Tommy was a great coach, and he's a baseball scientist, if you like. And they were fantastic, Goodwood, and they got every right to be as proud of that game as what our club is.
Was it heartbreak, do you think, for Goodwood? Like that would have had to be gut-wrenching. You play 19 innings and you don't win?
I would imagine so, yeah. I found that out next year when we lost the grand final.
I think it would have been heartbreak then, but now it's a celebration of the history of baseball and everything that's gone on, and they're just as proud as Port for winning it, because everyone talks about grand finals, and we won a lot of West Torrens as well, but we never won 19 innings. So, and this game always gets talked about.
Yeah,
whether you're 10 years old or whether you're 70 years old, you know about the 19 innings game against Port and Goodwood.
Just a little thing on the end of the game. We were two out with none on in the bottom of the 19th, and David Mundy hit a single. And if David didn't hit that single, well, Kevin Draketrix didn't hit that home run. So
I heard that Dave Mundy could play.
He was special.
He played in those 7 premierships because Port also won in 66. West Torrens won in 67, then Port won 6 in a row. So he played in those 7 premierships. Then he went and coached East Torrens, and East Torrens won their first premiership since the 20s in 74, and then they won again in 76. And he played in those as well. So what a champion.
So we gotta wrap things up in a second here, but Robert, just tell us more about the book and when can we expect it?
Well, the book is planned to be launched when Port Adelaide celebrate the particular game on the 12th of March. And I've interviewed sort of a lot of the Port people. I've interviewed some of the Goodwood, got photos, got a whole heap of stuff. It's looking at, depending how the photos fit, between 32 to 40 pages. It's sort of a bit of a labour of love for me because I've always sort of honoured that game. It's been fantastic. One of the things in interviewing all the Port people, the interesting aspect was the story they told about the actual home run being hit. Kevin Greatrex himself says, don't remember it. But all the other guys, the crap,
Page.
the noise, Neil Page is a bit, put his head down and stuff like that. But just the Port Adelaide people, they tell all these little aspects about hearing the noise and seeing this and seeing that, and it all together is like a kaleidoscope of joy about that one hit.
So Ron, you just wanted to have something to say just before we wrap up this part of the segment. So go ahead and say what you want to say.
I just want to give a shout out to Wayne Durbridge. Wayne's been in hospital for a month now. He's doing it pretty hard, and Wayne, we're all thinking of you, mate.
We'll leave it on that. Wayne, we are all thinking of you. Thanks for recounting Ron Hawking and Robert Laidlaw, what sounds like one of the best games that you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, absolutely.
50 years ago. I wish we were streaming it then.
Yeah, it would have been.
We'll maybe
imagine
have to
that.
wrap things up. Thank you very much for joining us on In the Bullpen.
Thank you, guys. Much appreciated.
Hilltop Office Supplies are here to provide you with all your stationery, sanitary products and office equipment. We are a local business servicing local communities with the ability to offer you and your business the best prices. We offer a large range of office supplies from pens, ink cartridges and toner to monitors, keyboards and laptops. If you can't see it on our website or in our catalogue, ask us and we'll source it for you. We have a partnership with Kaishira Document Solutions where you will find many leasing options available for these state-of-the-art units and plenty to choose from whether you have 5 or 5,000 employees. We offer businesses a one-stop shop for all cleaning, kitchen and bathroom needs. Check out our website at www.hilltopofficesupplies.com.au. Register your business to stay on top of the latest sales and receive member specials. We are baseball people here to support the baseball community.
Back in the bullpen at Henley and Grange Baseball Club, hosting us graciously tonight, brought to you by Hilltop Office Supplies. Dunny, I think if we answer that question now about what sporting event would you like to go to that's already maybe happened, I kind of would like to go to that.
As a local sporting event,
As a local one.
definitely. And back then the games were huge, and baseball was a big part of what goes on here. And to have 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000 people there and playing at Nord Oval under lights, because lights would have been brand new in those days too. It would have been
Electricity.
colour TV even, all those things were new. So and they wouldn't have been used to playing a lot of games under lights either. So that probably made a big difference on the impact of a game as well.
Did you play in that Wednesday night competition? That
I did.
was not the Super League, but it was like the Super League?
Yeah, it was just called night baseball, and I played for the Eagles team, which was us and Henley and Grange and Woodville, I think.
Were the crowds big?
Yeah, not as big as the ABL, but they certainly had some big ones, and we had a couple of ripper fights in them. Obviously,
I see a couple of videos.
Yeah, there's some big ones that were involved, but he had the best of the best out there, and our Eagles team alone had almost all of our starting lineup played for Australia at some stage. It was some good competition.
I heard those games did get heated, and whether it be hearing stories from Cole Alexander or even Davo about some of those games, it sounded intense.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Quick community shout-outs for this week. Let's start with Harry Evans, 100 games over at Goodwood. We missed this one last week. He's in that bunch of Goodwood boys there somewhere on your screen, so shout-out to him. Local legend down here, though, Scott Bean, 700 games for Henley.
700?
700.
Has he been playing since he was 4?
He's probably been playing. He doesn't look that old. Look at him.
I was going to say, that's a long time.
That can't be real. Those are the two moments here, but a couple cool ones over the weekend. Obviously, the rain was undefeated, wiped out a whole weekend of baseball. Didn't stop people from having fun. I love these photos sent in from Southern Districts. Take a look at these. Some of the girls got down there on the Women's Day. Slip and slide, baby.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, wait for the next photo. You ready for this
Who's washing
next one?
that uniform?
Let's go. I love that. That's making lemonade out of lemons.
Yeah.
I know it was hard even being out in the Giants stadium being like, oh, God, this rain's not letting up. But I love seeing that. And even at the Giants, remember all those Golden Grove kids that were at the game?
Yeah.
They stayed for 3 hours through a delay when it was looking bleak. And credit to the Giants players going out, playing catch, signing autographs.
Yeah.
But I love the hope from all the kids.
Yeah. There wasn't a lot of hope, but they certainly tried to think there was.
Shout out, though, to West Torrance, by the way. They got a big grant. They're getting some new batting cages and a big tunnel. That's the community grant, $22,000. That's a big deal.
Great.
What you can do at the club to even just training for those little things.
Yeah, totally. That's fantastic for West Torrance.
Dunny, Sunday coaching clinic.
Yeah, so just for those people that are out there that are interested, all of the charter coaches, it's almost mandatory that you come along, that we've got a full day scheduled with Chris Adamson.
You got to take that up.
Yeah, and he's just going to talk you through everything to do with coaching in the baseball side of the world, through the Adelaide Giants, through the Phillies, all the philosophies, all the cultures of how you go about it, how you treat players, how you need to treat individuals, all the plays and everything that you go through. So from anyone who's interested, there's a link on the SABL website. Go to that, register. It's free to come along. You can there's 2 sessions. There's a morning session and an afternoon session. So because I think club junior games start as well. So join it. It's you're not going to get these opportunities very often with someone who's got the knowledge that Chris has. So he's given up his time to do the coaching clinic.
On Sunday.
So please support him. And I think we've already got about 20 people registered to come, and we're happy to take as many as they want to come along and learn how to be a better coach.
From a guy that is in the Phillies organization, and he's
Totally.
a great dude, Tank.
And he's given up his time to do it. So please support it and get the most out of it that you can, because it is worthwhile, and you will go back to your clubs and take knowledge back there that you didn't have before you were there on Sunday.
Giants play this weekend. If you do play baseball or you're a Baseball SA member, check your email, because Baseball SA sent out a promo code that you can use for some discount tickets on the weekend to get out and support a bunch of the locals. We'll wrap up the show because that game that we just heard about was epic.
Yep.
What's the most epic game you have been a part of?
Oh, God.
Just choose one. There's probably a few, but first one that comes to mind of wow, holy shit, that was epic.
You know what? I don't really remember a lot of epic games, to be honest with you. So, I mean, that one I told you the other night about the
home run,
the grand slam I hit, and the game got reverted back after set. That
is ridiculous.
That was about it. That's probably as epic as it gets, that we ended up losing the game in that situation. So, yeah, let's go with that one, I think.
For me, the most epic one I saw in South Australia was Game 1 of the ABL Championship Series in 2015, Bite versus Heat, when we went back to back to back home runs to win the game effectively. And that was as loud as I've heard a sports stadium ever at Norwood Oval, with 5,500 people at our capacity crowd on the home run trifecta. That was just insane.
Yeah, that would have been good fun.
It was a lot of fun. You can watch that on the ESPN highlights.
Yeah, right.
That's us for this week. In the Bullpen, brought to you by Hilltop Office Supplies.
Yes.
Use
Get
that
your rat
BSA
test.
discount code.
Get your rat
the rat
test.
tests. Get set up for school. It's coming around the corner.
Well, it is. That's next week, isn't it? So we've already started doing some school stuff. So please drop us a line on our website, and we'll see what we can do to help you out.
And until then, see you later.
We'll see you next week, guys.